Right. Hey, everyone. My name is Jib. Today, I'm going to talk about the HTTP request tool. So this is a new tool that's come out, but it's going to help me slide through. Next one. So yeah, so the HTTP request tool is a new tool which was released just shy of a month ago. So in release 1.47. So definitely upgrade if you haven't already. And it's sort of exclusively used in AI agents. Now, this tool, like Bart said, it's not the HTTP request node that we're all familiar with, that we use for kind of a lot of things. It's more of a younger sibling. That's how I would describe it. Still very same functionality, just maybe it's got a few bits and pieces that aren't quite there or identical, but we'll come to that later. Right. So as kind of one of the tools, if you're not familiar with agents or tools, AI agents are particular in that they are the AI models, but they have these functionalities that you can use to extend them. So, for example, the calculator is one way that an agent or an AI model can do maths, right? Just gives it the numbers and calculate gives it back. Similar, the HTTP tool allows the agent to make HTTP requests, right? But agents which kind of, or AI models which connect to the internet isn't really a new thing, right? So why in particular did NNN kind of come up with this tool, in my opinion? And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today. So it connects to the internet, so what, right? I'm glad you all asked. Basically, it means that the HTTP request tool enables any, and I would probably say every API, it makes every kind of API into an agent tool. Super powerful stuff. So that means, yeah, it just gives you the freedom to connect your favorite services, maybe business critical services directly to the agent for it to kind of perform a lot of stuff. And I think it's super smart because if you imagine if NNN went and said, yeah, we're going to make a tool for every service out there, it'll take them literally a million years, shy, a couple of centuries. But yeah, it would just take an incredibly long time. This tool just gives you the freedom to kind of bring them in today, into your kind of AI workflows today, makes them super, super powerful. So that's kind of like, I feel like one of the big game changing features or functionality that this tool brings. The second one, if we go to the next slide. Sorry. I sorry, but I reordered before you copied them. Sorry about that. I did say I was going to resist, but okay. Anyway.
Should I go to the next one? Is that better?
Yeah, okay, if we go to the next one. Yeah, sorry. So the second game-changing feature is that this tool, if you, like me, have built a lot of agent tools or sort of tried to extend with HTTP, these agents in the past, you'd notice you had to create this kind of custom workflow tool with a lot of subnodes, with a lot of sub workflow, and it kind of got a little bit big, right? So with this HTTP request tool, in some cases, especially like with this web scraper example that I found in the templates library, you can bring it down literally from 10 nodes down to 1. That is an amazing, amazing feature. And I'll go through how that works and how you can, and how that's possible in probably next slide. If we jump back a little bit, Bart, to the previous slide. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not this one. Yeah, this one. Right. So breakdown, very quick. The tool is super familiar interface with the HTTP node. Yeah, just big brain move from NNN team to kind of keep it the same. So it's kind of very familiar, very easy to kind of onboard. I love one of my favorite things about NNN is credentials, how the credentials are handled. So super easy, just kind of click, select the ones you want. Another kind of super smart thing is these placeholder variables. So this is a new sort of concept, and where we had tools previously where the agent was determining the body values, the params in the body, it can now do in the path, variables in the path, variables in the headers, incredible stuff that it just kind of knows how to configure, not only kind of pass the variables, but also configure the endpoints as well to kind of make those requests. Super smart move again is the response formatting. So this optimized response option you have at the bottom means that even though you're kind of making that request, getting API results, you can define sort of a subsection of that response to bring back, right? So you're optimizing for your token limit. So you're not kind of getting, you can get only the fields you want or which are relevant to the request. Where some APIs, they're very verbose and they give all this extra information, you can cut that out. So super, super simple. I think previously you would have 2 nodes to do this job. So one to handle the post request payload. But in this tool, you've got them all in the same node, which is fantastic. Now, some of the things that this tool doesn't do is what I found anyway, binaries. So if you're fetching a PDF with this tool, it's going to bring back a binary. The agent's not going to be able to parse it, or there isn't a step to kind of pass that into text for the agent. So to watch out for that. Pagination. So if you need to kind of go through a few pages or get like tokens to get the offset to get to the next request, that's not really handled in this tool as well. So it's kind of designed for, make a request, get the response, no pagination. And lastly, what I found is you can't chain API requests. So if you needed one API request to kind of call another, there's no kind of chaining going on. So that's kind of not really what's designed for. Now, remember, this tool has only been around for 18 days, maybe. No, not 18 days, just, sorry, a month, sorry. So there's no telling like what the NNTM team with sufficient feedback, what they could do to improve it. So definitely, start using it and contributing your feedback to that. So if we go to the next slide, so after using the tool for a month, so my recommendation straight off the bat, first choice for agent tools connecting to services and APIs. And I would definitely recommend it over the old way. We would have traditionally done it, which is like the custom workflow tool. You create like a mini root router to sort of figure out what you want to do there. This makes it so much simpler. Just kind of reduction of nodes is just a joy to work with. And lastly, obviously, custom code you kind of want to avoid generally, harder to maintain. But if you have to, that's also an option. Probably just kind of a note to, even though like this tool now exists, there's no rush to refactor all your past workflows. I would say if it works, if your custom workflow tool works, just leave it, unless you really hate it, the way you've done it. Feel free to sort of upgrade. But I mean, all these tools, all these kind of approaches are valid. It really depends on your use case. Next slide. Right. So I'm going to jump into a few quick examples. This one is a very common use case or use scenario that I've seen when people kind of create chatbots. And this is an appointment scheduling chatbot, particularly with one API service, which is cal.com, which is a calendar or appointment booking service. Wow, look at this. What are we seeing here? We are seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nodes, really, to kind of create this really capable booking agent. It gets availability, schedules appointment, it can reschedule, it can cancel appointments. If you told me if you told me same time last year that we could build something like this with just this many nodes, I'd be shocked. But now we have it today, so you can do it, right? So super easy to work with. Not overwhelming. That's what I find with creating a lot of these agent tools is, once you have to get the subnodes in, it gets a little bit overwhelming with the amount of nodes you have to put in. And, possibly if you decide to choose another service, you will need to refactor, right? You need to kind of change it. And it's always a drag when you're into that situations. With this, you just knock the node out and you just replace it with another HTTP tool, which is fantastic. We're going to run very quickly into a video. I'm just going to talk through this. So again, this is the whole workflow to enable this kind of agent. I'm going to open the chat now, and I'm just going to type in, sorry for the potato quality, by the way. So chat, type in that, I'm looking for an appointment. It's going to go through the rounds, going to ask my name. And then, it's going to ask me for a preferred time and date. Now, when I type in my preferred time and date, it's going to make a HTTP request to the availability API in my cal.com account, which let me just finish this text. And it's making a request call, and boom, right? It's brought us back into the agent. Now, again, it's just one node. It's made a request, it's come back as tools. really, really simple, very powerful feature that we wanted one node to kind of enable, which is great. So now I can confirm my kind of availability, and then boom, we're done. Again, super, super powerful stuff that the NNA team have enabled with this node. Simplified workflows, they're not going to take a lot to maintain. You can experiment, gives you that freedom, that creativity to kind of experiment with different services. Super, super powerful stuff. Right. Next example. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So this is So again, just these 4 nodes. I mean, there's always the rescheduling, you continue the conversation, rescheduling, you can cancel the appointment. Again, these are just API calls, and the agent is smart enough to kind of work out kind of the rest. So next example. Now, there is no videos after this. Is the only video. So how we did it was, in the HTTP request node, there's the endpoint. We just put the tool description and the endpoint you want. So this one shows the scheduling appointment, which is like the bookings API. Again, credentials. I loved how the credentials work. You just put it as you would in the HTTP request node. The placeholder definitions is how you get the agent to fill in the dynamic variables, and you can define them like this. So it's very kind of organized, and you can define. So here I've got session ID, schedule starts, in the inquiry, schedule end, and finally, in the right-hand side is the optimized response. So what I'm saying is I've toggled it on. I'm expecting the response to be JSON. I want to get out the selected fields, which is ID, start time, end time, and status. So again, that's how I reduce the amount of tokens that come back to the agent, so the agent can not hit that limit. So very, very simple kind of interface to work with. Next example is, so previously we saw an agent hitting all APIs of one service. We could do a more powerful way of bringing in lots of services, multiple services into the agent. So you imagine in this one is a holiday planning agent. Each tool could be hitting Google Flights, Google Hotels, FileCrawl for web scraping, maybe TripAdvisor for tools. Now, these are all different services with all different response formats coming back, right? This tool can handle all of them. So there's no sort of edge case nodes you kind of have to put in to kind of, handle those responses. It's all kind of consolidated, it's all kind of the same format, really, really powerful stuff. If you don't want to search hotels in Google Hotels, you just go for, wherever people get hotel data from, I guess. But yeah, you can see how easy it is to swap them out, which in a traditional workflow is, again, that drag of refactoring and figuring out what the response is and stuff in all these other nodes, and makes it very difficult. So that's another example. The final example is, it doesn't need to be SaaS APIs, right? It's just a HTTP request, really. But it means, anything with an API can be hooked up to your agent directly. Here we're using the Supabase, REST API, the PG REST API that they have. If you want to search products, use Elasticsearch has a HTTP API endpoint to do that. And even kind of posting HTTP requests like events to PostHog. So it can be internal, it can be external. Any and every API is going to come in to power your agent, which is super powerful. And again, you're not having these complex sub workflows to work with. It's just sort of, super, super powerful stuff. Next slide. Yeah, that's it. I want to give a huge thanks for you all for listening, and Bart and Luis for giving me the opportunity to showcase this amazing update to the NNA tools. I want to give a special shout out to Nico and Nicholas, who have been on the NNA team as well, have been reviewing and approving my AI templates. So if you didn't know, I have a creative account on the Creative Hub where I have all my experimental and really fun AI templates on there, so please check them out. I love talking about AI and NN10, and would love to know what you guys are using it for. So, contact post in the forum. I've got some long posts, long form posts in the forum. But if you want to reach out, yeah, LinkedIn and Twitter are my preferred channels. So thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jim. This was really, really amazing and inspiring to see how much you can achieve with so little, so few nodes. That's really, really cool. Let me take a real quick look at the questions that we have. So we have a couple. Simon is curious how things work under the hood. What does the HTTP tool take as its input? Can you answer that, or is that a question for the N8N team?
That's probably for the N8N team. My answer would be magic. It works, but yeah, using magic.
I'm not sure if they're still around.
Yeah, maybe I can chip in.
Yep. Cool.
So it's not using the definition of the API, like the Swagger JSON or the API schema, but rather you just provide it with the placeholders so you're hitting a specific endpoint in those tools, and you provide it with the placeholders which the AI fills, which will be sent to that endpoint. And this gives you sort of more control over what AI can do, but also gives you a nice way to manage your credentials, for example, in a secure way. But it wouldn't just be randomly firing requests. You need to set up like which request is it allowed to fire, and you describe in the placeholder what each parameter means. Hope that answered the question.
Great. Thanks, Oleg. Rusako is interested to know if this could replace tools like Crew AI. A couple of months ago, we had Derek Chung giving a demo of that as well. So if you're interested, browse back on our YouTube channel. Jim, is this something you can take? Do you have experience with Crew AI?
I don't actually have much experience with Crew AI. I mean, multiple agents kind of working together still was sort of a new thing for me. So yeah, probably not the best. But I mean, if it has a HTTP API, definitely could ping those services. Yes.
Right.
But it would also not exactly the HTTP tool, but the sub workflow tool would allow you to do like sub agents, and then you can compose them several levels deep.
Gotcha. And I guess that also answers the next question, if tools can reference other tools, right, Oleg?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks. And then finally, Thomas asks if we have any ideas on how to combine keyword searches with semantic searches, so they're accessing different kinds of databases.
I mean, through the agent. I mean, definitely through the agent you could. But I mean, definitely depends on your use case, right? I mean, what do you want to kind of do? Is it you want to search for the product first and then search for related products? You could definitely get the agent to carry out that workflow for sure. But if you kind of want it in one API, maybe you need like a third-party service or an external service which does that. But does that answer the question?
I don't know. Thomas, does it?
Hi there. Yeah, thank you for the answer. I was thinking of an e-commerce context where you look for trousers in red and it also finds you jeans in Bordeaux, for example. There would be semantic search. In other times, you look for an article number. And so sometimes the semantic search has the better results. Sometimes the keyword search has the better results. And I read somewhere there are ways to combine these. So you have search results from your database, search results from your vector store, and then a re-ranking takes place, and the best results are then shown as a combination of these both data sources. So I was curious if anyone has experience with that or how you would build that into the chatbot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe that requires a longer answer. I would imagine.
And maybe I can also jump in here a little bit. So some of the vector databases, like for example Weaviate, I don't think that we have an N8N connector for that, but they offer hybrid search, right? So they offer both keyword and semantic search based on embeddings, and they do that basically by having a ranking trick that retrieves both keyword based on keyword search and based on semantic search, and then re-ranks them based on their ranking in both of these lists. But so that's one way to do it. The other way, you would like add two tools to an agent that allows you to instruct maybe the agent a little bit better, like, hey, if somebody asks something that requires a keyword search, use this tool, and otherwise use like a semantic embedding. So that's two ways to do that, I think.
Okay, thanks.
Actually, I have a workflow of the second option that JP just mentioned. So maybe if we have a few minutes after, I can show it, which does exactly that.
Yeah, let's do that in the chat. That sounds good. Yeah. And everyone, by the way, JP here just joined the NA10 team a couple of weeks ago. So it's really great to see him make his appearance here. So give him a warm welcome. Huh? Thanks, JP. Okay, Jim, thanks so much for your great example.